What is up, everybody? Rnb Sports is back. It's been, I don't know how long, like 2 years?
It's been eons.
Richie?
It's been eons. Yeah, it's been like
It's been
2-3 years.
Yeah, so we're back, and we got cameras, we got mics, better mics.
Got a
than
cat.
last time.
Cat right there, chilling.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice him in the background. He blends in.
He black as hell. He black.
But yeah, we're back. Anything you want to add, Richie?
Nah, I'm good. I'm chilling.
What you been up to these last few years?
Prepping.
What?
Working.
Oh.
Working. Dealing with family, everything that people go through.
Yep, definitely. And we work together too, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, you were dancing the other night. I forgot. I didn't know you worked on Fridays. Hey, bitch.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
We're gonna have guests in the future. We definitely got some people in mind for guests to come talk with us. It's great to be back. Rnb Sports. Round of applause. Gotta give us. So, Lakers fan, you want to add anything to your guys' season so far?
We can go in depth about that later. Let's just start off with the good old weekly roundup. Today is Friday, December 17th.
Weekly roundup, okay.
We'll be covering the. We'll try to do the
December 17th.
Yeah, we'll try to do an episode like every Friday because we can't do daily uploads.
Every Friday.
That's just absolute madness. But we'll do.
Impossible. Asking the impossible.
We'll do unless they pay us like six figures a year to do it every day, and I'll do it. But anyway, not to get sidetracked, we'll just cover up everything that happened that week from Monday to Friday, or through the weekend through Friday. So, what's the biggest story you want to get into? We got the Kyler Murray injury. We got Mr. Irrelevant, last pick of the draft. Brock Purdy. Celtics, Lakers.
Let's start off with
World Cup stuff.
Let's start off with Monday and the devastating injury with Kyler Murray. Your thoughts on that?
Oh, I have. And look at his eyes. I have a personal bias. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's a little thing called fantasy football, and there's a little thing called fantasy football playoffs, and there's a little thing called the down 4 with Kyler Murray as your only starter left to play, and then there's a little thing called ACL. I take solace in the fact I shouldn't even say this because this is bigger than fantasy. His injury.
Three plays in too, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is bigger than his injury because this is bigger than my fantasy football season because it's a pretty bad injury for Kyler, especially as a mobile QB. And Kyler's definitely he's the most dangerous when he's able to run the ball. And if he's gonna have a hard time running, see how that affects that. But I take solace, not proudly, but in the fact that it wouldn't even matter if I won because everybody I needed to lose won. So either way, I was screwed. But just imagine if I wasn't screwed and Kyler Murray had to get me there. That's why this is my petition to have all the fantasy apps has a substitute for an injury player. You should be able to, as long as if they get injured before halftime, you're able to put in somebody who hasn't played yet or something like that.
No, I'll go one further. You put in that backup QB.
Yeah, but if he went off for 40,
you would have to pick up Colt McCoy.
Oh, the backup.
I think that's only fair.
Oh, you mean the backup of the? Yeah, but if somebody already has him, that's kind of the problem there.
What are the odds that someone's going to have the backup QB?
16-man leagues. I bet you Brett Rippon's on somebody's bench, and they're just any day now. But
the 0.1%.
yeah. So Kyler Murray. That's basically all my thoughts on it.
Unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. Broncos, and this is how bad the Cardinals losing him is. The Broncos actually might have a chance to beat him. And that's saying, in 2022, saying the Broncos can beat somebody is insane. But the fact that we can maybe beat them is crazy.
You picked them on the pick'ems this week, right? The Broncos.
We play the Cardinals, yep.
Cardinals. Yeah, I definitely with the Broncos too, but yeah, it's just unfortunate. But you know what? What's to say? Colt McCoy might have it over Brett Rippon. About the
battle of the
QBs.
I mean, I don't know. Cardinals and Broncos both suck.
I think we both have.
Cardinals are at least more fun to watch.
Yeah,
because
they have 4 wins. We have 3.
It's really it's the suckathon. It's the suck bowl. Like you don't.
Suckathon.
The only thing that's going to be worse is the Christmas game against the Rams, and then it's going to be Russell Wilson versus Baker Mayfield. That's the mid-off, but it's not going to be entertaining for anybody, unfortunately.
But that game, so it was the Cardinals and who was the other team that they were playing? I totally forgot now.
Patriots? Patriots.
Yeah, it was the Patriots. Yeah. Patriots deserve the win. They're in the wild card right now. They're like the 3rd team in the wild card, looking to like make some noise in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm definitely rooting for the Patriots personally in the playoffs. Kind of like a wild card pick, because I like to go with those wild card picks.
He loves his underdogs, that's for sure.
Our Broncos country, let's ride.
I'm just gonna turn off my camera now.
Whoa.
All right.
I actually noticed something different there.
Would you
like one of those things to where like you
the lighting?
It was like the lighting, and then it like just like went up more.
Oh yeah, I tilted it up
It's
by
like
accident.
one of those like TikToks.
Oh yeah. There you go. I just need a suit.
I'll probably point mine down.
Go lower. 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 Too low.
Too low.
Too low. Pull it up.
There we go.
All right. What the heck were you saying?
Yeah, so the Patriots and Cardinals. So I definitely personally have the Patriots. I'm picking them as like a sleeper team in the playoffs, wild card.
You really believe in Mac Jones?
I do. I think he's it's his second season. He's getting some experience as he.
His best highlight is hitting that gritty. It was a pretty good gritty. Yeah, when he had that 70-yard touchdown.
I mean, John Morant does it. Justin Jefferson does it. Justin J. Baby.
Well, they do it justice. I just
shout out to
Patriots are your sleeper pick.
Yeah,
you're confident saying that? I know. Yeah, you're confident. Like there's no regret. You won't wake up and be like, "What the fuck did I just say last night?" There won't be any of that. No regrets.
No regrets.
Sleepers. So let's look at the contenders really quick. Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, Cowboys.
I don't want to hear you say I'm going for the Eagles.
I can't say. Can I say Cowboys?
You know what? That's a good one. I kind
of believe in the Cowboys this year. That defense.
That's crazy too.
If I had to pick, and my roommate's gonna love this. Niners 2.
The Niners, okay. Brock Purdy. We'll get to that one a little later. That's our Thursday.
Yeah,
that's the Thursday game. We'll get to that a little later, but I definitely got something to add about Brock Purdy.
But probably Niners Cowboys.
Let's move on to Tuesday. the Celtics and the Lakers played.
Yep.
Now this one's gonna be so me Celtics of course, you Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about this all week. I was saying I think we deserve to lose, and you're saying like, oh yeah, we deserve that loss.
Yeah, we 100% deserve that loss.
My take on this is, how the hell do you blow a 20-point lead? Like, who does that? Like, I mean, it happens, but we blew a 20-point lead, and we had a 30 it was like a 30-point swing.
Yeah,
you guys outscored us by 30 points in the second half.
Yeah. Well, here to break it down for you. You ready? NBA is a game of runs. It always has been. Teams will go on a 15-0 run. Doesn't matter. It's always a game of runs. That's basically a basketball game. Is who goes on a run.
Especially when it comes to Celtics and Lakers, because Celtics and Lakers, you never know what's going to happen. And this was one of those games. Like, oh my god, like you as a Lakers fan, like we might actually win this one.
I know. And then so much so, I didn't even watch the game. I was that excited. Look, man, for me, I don't watch Laker games. I watch Laker highlights when we win. I can be that fan now. It's like Broncos highlights. I'll watch if we win, but I don't want to watch us punt the ball for 10 freaking possessions in a row. So it's and the Lakers, it's frustrating because there's just so many issues that can be fixed. But we deserve to lose because we crawled back from a 20-point deficit, forced it to OT, even though we could have iced the game, but AD's been choking at the line as of recently. So not only do we,
and LeBron with that 3-pointer too.
Yeah, just dumb shot selection. Here's the thing: you fight back, and then you just grab a gun and you shoot yourself in the foot repeatedly, and you don't even feel it because your foot is going numb from the loss of blood, and you just keep shooting, and that's why it's more embarrassing for the Lakers because you fight back, which is admirable, awesome, cool. But then you shoot yourself in the foot. But it's not even close to what happened in Philly. Philly's overtime is one of the worst overtime periods I've ever seen. Not as a Laker fan, as a basketball fan in general. Talking about LeBron missing layups, Westbrook going a million miles per hour, throwing it off the backboard like he's in 8th grade.
I saw that in the Nuggets game today.
Westbrook is due for that at least once a game. But that's why it's you could have iced the game. There's been 3 games we could have iced. And we just continue to choke. That's what drives me crazy is because here's the thing. Lakers aren't bad. They're not garbage. They still need they need some trades have to happen because there's no shooting on the team. If you can't shoot in the NBA, you don't win games, as your Celtics know as of the last 8 days.
I'll definitely get into that. But another thing what I feel like you guys need is a bench.
Bro, we have AR-15.
Besides Austin Reeves and maybe Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder starts.
Who else do you guys have? Oh, I thought it was Pat Bev.
Schroeder, Pat Bev, Lonnie, LeBron, AD. Okay.
Oh, I thought you guys had Lonnie at the...
Lonnie's at the 3.
At the guard.
Nah, we've been playing AD at the 5. So you have
LeBron at the 4
yeah.
And AD at the center?
Yep.
Okay.
Because Thomas Bryant's the backup. It's Austin Reeves and Westbrook. But we could use.
You guys have changed up your lineup so many times.
We have 15. We have 15 starting lineups. That's part of the reason why we lose games is because there's no chemistry that can be built. The fact that we're even like decent, like we're not as bad as I think like the Rockets or the Magic. They're in the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes right now for all their losses they're piling up. We're not even that bad. It's just we need shooting. Like what we need is we need to go get Bojan Bogdanovic from the Pistons. Or is he on the Pistons right now? He is. Like him in the starting lineup. That's the thing that drives me crazy about this Lakers team is nobody fits around each other. LeBron is ball dominant, as he should be. So what do you need to do? You surround him with shooters. I feel like this is all the stuff that could fix the Lakers' problems. Is like, okay, what fits? Because AD can fit. AD won't, be a knockdown shooter, but you can throw him down in the post. And guess what? They double AD in the post. And what does AD need when he kicks out? Shooters. Well, I think Lonnie is solid. Schroeder's not consistent, and Pat Bev lost his 3-point stroke. Honestly, if Pat Bev was shooting close to, he's shooting like 22% from three. He shot like 41 last year. It's a 20% drop off. That is bad. You're not going to be able to win a lot of games doing that. But
hey, remember when the Timberwolves won their play-in game and they act like they won the
that was hilarious. Pat Bev is like crying, hopping on the scoreboard. This is our moment. This is our moment. Yeah, that was just hilarious, though.
Now,
what happened Wednesday?
Now the Celtics Celtics side on that Tuesday game.
Who cares about that?
Tatum forced OT, and we just dominated in overtime. Even you were watching like a little bit of the overtime. You're like, yeah.
I watched the 5-0 run. I got up and because when I saw Westbrook was dared to shoot a 3, I was just like, yep, have a good game. It's been fun.
But even though we won that game, like I felt like we still lost in a way because like we should have performed better.
And your damn morals.
I have high hopes for the Celtics this year, and
you need to lower them.
After we lost to the Magic today, I was
you need to be humbled.
I was pretty mad, but I got over it. On to the next game. Honestly, though. I'm already jumping to Friday, but we'll get to that in a second. Wednesday, we had nothing. I don't think there was any games. Wednesday, actually.
There was something.
I think
Wednesday.
That was the Nuggets and Wizards, I think.
Oh, yeah. Jokic had almost a 43-point triple-double.
The Nuggets dropped 141 points against the Wizards. It was a high-scoring game all around. But
it would be impressive, but it's the Wizards. Like even
I think Jokic could get the 3-peat MVP. That's just me personally. I think he will probably get it somehow, some way over Tatum. Tatum, he's just been kind of, in my opinion, up and down this year. Like the Warriors game, he only had like 15 points.
That's because the Warriors live in his head rent free. Warriors own Tatum, so it's that simple.
I won't admit that, but
but it's true. Like Tatum is the MVP so far. I don't think Jokic wins it because he's got Jamal Murray this year, so it's going to be less of. It's always been Jokic doing everything.
But Jamal Murray hasn't really performed to his former self, especially bubble Jamal Murray.
Yeah,
bubble Jamal Murray was insane.
I'd at least give Jamal Murray a playoff series before we write him off. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll find his groove because you got to remember they still have a lot of mouths to feed. This is a more complete Denver team. So also another reason why I think he won't win it. This is the best Denver roster that the Nuggets have had the last 5, 6, 7 years. Like you've got
Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown. You've got Michael Porter Jr., Jeff Green, Aaron Gordon. You've got KCP, Bones.
Just their starting line because so it's Jamal Murray. KCP starts.
Yeah,
and then you got Michael Porter Jr. And then
Gordon, Jokic,
Aaron Gordon, and Jokic.
And then you got Bones. You got all these guys coming off your bench.
Bruce Brown, Bones. They got a dominant bench.
Yep. This is the best Nuggets roster. So I think that's part of what won't help Jokic win his third MVPs because he has more talent this year. So more like guys that have a really good chance are Tatum, though Tatum has a lot of help, I would argue. And the guy that I would lean towards is Luka because Luka doesn't have anybody. They went out and traded for Christian Wood. They went out and traded for Christian Wood, but he hasn't been like.
Here's what they're doing with Christian Wood. They're kind of because Christian Wood is so used to losing. He's been on nothing but losing teams.
That's true.
So they want to
unfortunately
they have him coming off the bench to kind of get him established and everything with like a winning team, and then eventually they'll start.
By the way, shout out to Christian Wood. He had 32 and 10 off the bench tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Great performance. Like he off the bench too. Wow.
Yep. He was
especially for a center.
Is the first Mav since '99, I believe, to have a performance like that. And then on a side note, Westbrook had a triple-double off the bench. He had like 15, 12, and 11. He's the first guy to do that since Shrimp, I believe, in the 90s. So got to give credit when Westbrook does something. So give the credit there, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I think that was all for Wednesday.
That was it for Wednesday.
You want to go ahead and
Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Brock Purdy for MVP. I'll go out and say it. Brock Purdy. I saw highlights
MVP.
of him. He's got eyes all over the field. Like, this guy's insane.
Okay, let's.
He checks this. He checks right. Oh, this is my left.
Yeah.
Checks left. Checks right, and then throws up the middle to George Kittle. Like, and he's a third stringer.
So,
do you see Russell Wilson doing that? No.
Oh, okay. See, you can't gas him up and then make it personal towards the end, because then your whole argument just goes from why can't Russell Wilson do this? Here's the thing. I'll tell you why.
Has been nothing but backup QBs. Look at Bailey Zapp when he came in.
Yeah.
Bailey Zapp was insane when he started those few games.
Yeah, Bailey Zapp.
And then you got Taylor Heineke, who's about to maybe lead the Commanders to a playoff.
Yeah. No longer Asiki. I always call him Taylor Asiki, but he's doing something now. So
because you had him on your fantasy team last year.
Yeah. It's probably, speaking of personal, it's probably where I got it from. But here's the thing with Brock Purdy. The reason I won't give all that credit is, one, I'll give him credit for this. He was Mr. Irrelevant. So he was the last pick in the NFL draft. So, like, anything he does is great because he's not expected to do much. But let's not act like the Niners don't have a great offensive line, because it's not about eyes all over the field. It's because he has time to go through his progressions. He can go 1, 2, 3.
Russell Wilson doesn't have that time.
No, Russell Wilson's getting his neck snapped 3 seconds into the play. And I will also say that Brock Purdy has Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle. He's got superstars at every position.
Not Deebo Samuel anymore right now.
At least for the playoffs. But he still has C-Mac. You still have Brandon Ayuk. You still have plenty of offensive talented pieces that can... Because, look, Brock Purdy's doing no different than what Jimmy G was doing. Though Brock Purdy's maybe throwing the ball a little bit better. Not as good looking as Jimmy G.
I definitely agree.
Do you agree with that?
Not as good looking, you said?
As Jimmy G. Jimmy G is a handsome dude. Just saying. Yeah. MVP. Let's pump the brakes. All right. I hope the best for him. I don't want to be a hater.
He's probably saying the same thing.
Oh yeah. Well, he's a Niners fan, so he's jumping to the moon for him. But I think that's all really happened that Thursday night. Niners have been dominant. I think that's their 6th straight win. They beat out Brady. They blew the Buccaneers out.
I was surprised. I was shocked.
I'm surprised Seattle's been losing. I had a little bit of faith in Seattle this year, but I guess somebody did write them off. And I guess they were...
I know who's getting our number 2 pick this year.
Well, yeah. God, that's so depressing that we have to give them our 1st round pick. Because even if they suck, they weren't expected to do anything. And they just get a draft pick. They can go and get C.J. Stroud. They can go get any quarterback now.
They're looking at getting this defensive tackle. I forgot what his name was, but they were looking at a defensive tackle.
That would make sense. They already have a Michael Jackson in the secondary, and they have a Kobe Bryant in their linebacking core, or he's a safety. So that's probably what they're looking for.
They have Shelby Harris on the D line too.
Yep,
former Bronco.
A part of the Russell Wilson trade.
Who's doing great this season.
Part of the Russell Wilson scam. Not even a trade, a scamaz.
The heist of the century.
Biggest. A round of applause for Pete Carroll. Honestly, that dude.
He's somewhere right now chewing gum. And
that's the best salesman pitch I think I've ever seen Pete Carroll do. Can Russell Wilson still throw the ball? It's Russell Wilson. Of course he can. And then Denver's just like, okay, sounds good. And then we just signed off. Oh man, we got 4 more years. I'm hoping Russ just comes. I hope he gets juiced up this offseason. He gets his mind right, and then because if next season we're this bad, there's no way this team stays together. Judy's like punching refs damn near out of frustration.
By the way, he got fined $13,000, I think, for taking off his helmet or something.
Yeah.
And like squaring up to the ref. And then he got fined $23,000 for actually like bumping into the ref.
So pocket change, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's the fine. Which, I mean,
Judy will be fine.
After that, what do you do for your fantasy? He had a great game. After
he got the hat trick, 3 touchdowns.
Getting heated, he had a great game.
Apparently that's what it takes, because you saw Elijah Moore on the Jets did the same thing, and then they got him the ball, he started scoring, and it's like, oh, holy crap.
Moore, what do you think about your chemistry with Zach Wilson? I don't know. I don't get the ball enough.
You don't want...
It's accurate.
It's accurate. I mean, he shouldn't have said it publicly, because no matter if it's true or not, the way the media perceives it is just going to... It's not going to end up well, because they can paint the picture however they want, and it just only causes turmoil in the locker room. So he probably should have kept that private. Like, I would have gone up to Zach Wilson, like, privately, and the head coach, and be like, yo, give me the ball, man.
Zach Wilson already caused turmoil in the locker room. That's why Mike White starting.
Well, guess what? Zach Wilson
coming in.
Zach Wilson's starting this week, because Mike White can't go. So,
yep.
We'll see if Zach Wilson can redeem himself.
There's another backup quarterback for you, too, Mike White. Came in there doing great.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's only 1 to 2 games. It's not a big sample size. All these backups outside of Heineke and can't even say Bailey Zappi because he only played 3 games. And maybe Brock Purdy now. And Jimmy G if you want to count him, but he's basically a starter all of the last 2-3 years. But like these backups are having very small sample sizes. So it's kind of hard to be like, they look great with this, because Drew Lock looked great for Denver for 4 games because he went 3-1, and everyone's like, he's the future. He's dancing to Young Jeezy, and he's like, he's hip with the young folks. And then what happened? He gets a full season to himself. Interception, and another Broncos fan hanging from the rafters. That's just we need to draft a fucking quarterback, man. It's about time.
We had the opportunity to draft Jalen Hurts. We had the opportunity to draft Justin Fields. We let so many quarterbacks go.
Hell, even it's too many to count how many we've let go. Because I bet you we go to draft, and then like they're like, damn, we could use another pass rusher though. How about a lockdown corner though? And it's like we have plenty of those. All right.
I mean, Pat Surtain's great.
Pat Surtain is great.
We picked Pat Surtain over Justin Fields, and like that's the one exception I feel.
I still disagree.
Your need?
I still disagree because you need
team needs.
It's not even a team need. If you have an opportunity to get a franchise quarterback over a franchise corner, you go get a quarterback. Because we got Chris Harris, right, undrafted. He was great, but what did we do? We went to go get Peyton. Because Peyton's a franchise quarterback. Yes. And then what happened
around that.
Yeah, and then what happened that you went to go get Aqib Talib, and you got all these guys because you could just go out and pay for the best guy.
Marcus Ware.
You can go pay for the best guy. So it's Denver still should have gotten Justin Fields instead of Pat. Pat Surtain's great, but a corner is not going to change your team, because if your offense can't move the ball, Denver, you're not winning many games. And that's what screws us, because now we have to draft an O-line, because you got to give Russell Wilson another chances next year. He's already getting paid too much. You can't just have him to make a basketball reference, like a Luol Deng situation, where he just rides the bench for 3 years, getting paid $10-15 million.
I think you guys finally finished paying him recently.
He had the easiest freaking time of his life in the NBA. He'd probably go to warm-ups, do a little Euro layup, and then be like, all right, I'm cool.
All right, I'm cool. Let me just not. Let me get like 0 points today or something like that.
Yeah, babes. What's up, babes? Y'all talking about that whack sports stuff? What's up, Cheapsters? He's hungry. This little babes wants food. So that was Thursday. Right?
Yep. Thursday.
So good old Friday. By the way, it's taken us 30 minutes to do a weekly recap.
I mean, we'll get sidetracked with our teams, definitely.
Yeah, it's true.
But yep, today we lost to the Magic. I was pissed
Hilarious.
off about it.
Saw the whole game. I'd like to tell him, don't have your expectations high. Just a good rule of thumb in life.
But notice how I was not getting mad at one person that was going off on the Magic, because he actually deserves it this season and actually is a really good player.
Well,
and deserves all the credit. Yep. Paolo Banchero, he's insane. He's a great player. He is gonna be. He already reminds me. I want to say
Cole Anthony.
Like, no, not Cole Anthony. He had a ridiculous game today. I'm like,
he cooked Tatum. He cooked Tatum for a whole 5 possessions.
Mo Wagner, of all people, who we had on the Celtics for
Mo money,
second.
mo problems. Former Laker too, by the way.
And Horford, like, just slightly, like was moving and, like, accidentally, like, kicked him in the nuts on accident, but he was, like, moving, playing defense, and he just happened to be there and got tossed for the game. I thought that was stupid, but what can you do?
Yeah.
What can you do? But overall, I mean, Jason Tatum had a good performance. I'll pull up the box score real quick. I looked up the Magic box score. Banchero had 20 points. Mo Wagner had 25. I was like, are you kidding me? I know Jaylen Brown had a really good game.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown was hit some tough shots.
Yeah, and that's Jaylen Brown. If Jason Tatum isn't having the best of games, Jaylen Brown's always there.
Yeah.
That's why we're the second highest scoring duo in the league. And I believe it's LeBron and AD number 1 now, right?
I tried looking it up. I tried to, but I could not find it. But I'm pretty sure it's LeBron and AD. If it's not, because basically before December 12th, Tatum and Jaylen Brown were on pace to have the highest scoring duo season ever in history.
Yeah.
But as we all know, Celtics suck. So kind of happens.
Bruh. But anyways, box score. Jason Tatum with 31 points. Jaylen Brown 26. Malcolm Brogdon off the bench, 6th man of the year, 15 points.
6th man of the year?
I think 6th man of the year.
Did we forget about somebody? Did we forget about somebody?
He had a triple-double one game.
He's been doing it since he's gone to the bench. Lakers have been better.
He's been performing better, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
You can't have all 3 of your stars on the floor.
Yeah.
Well, at the same time.
Well, you could if they knew how to shoot the ball, but they don't. You can't have 3 ball-dominant stars on the floor at the same time.
Yeah. I gotta say, and Robert Williams off the bench. He had 9 points, 5 rebounds. He only played 18 minutes. He was on a minutes restriction.
Yeah.
Not bad for a coming back game. I gotta say, who's really got to step up, who had a pretty crappy game today, Derek White. 3 points.
Told you.
3 points. Come on, man.
You were talking. Remember? Here's the thing, though. He was singing your praises the game before. He's like, Derek White's the shit, man. What are you talking about?
It's one bad game.
Exactly. It's one bad game.
He's been struggling.
The whole team's been struggling. It's not just on Derek White. Look at me out here defending your Celtics. That's a bad look. I need to go put on some green right now. I feel weird defending them. Look, here's what
I'm looking at it from all angles.
Are you though?
Yes, I'm well. Like,
Are you though? Are you really though?
Yes, yes. I. It's like
What's it like?
I have the high hopes. I
Mm-hmm.
have the high hopes,
Gotta lower them.
and
I'm telling you right now, for your own mental health, lower them, please. And here's what you
I'm
need to
calm
think.
now.
Here's what you think. Celtics at least
I'm
get
not
to the
that fan.
playoffs. What
I'm
do you
not
mean?
that fan after losing Super Bowl 50, chucking my TV across the room. I actually saw a video one time after we beat the Panthers in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This one Panthers fan got so heated that they lost in the Super Bowl, grabbed his TV and like threw it across the room.
Yeah, and
they
we
were
call
like,
those
"Hey man,
we
hey
call
man,
those
you need to-"
people idiots because there's no reason you should
Yeah,
destroy a good TV like that. Here's the thing you would
yeah.
do. You
What did
just
TV
get
ever do to you?
you get depressed for a week, just like when the Warriors won last year.
Yeah, I did not feel like talking to anybody.
For like a week straight. So but that's the thing. You got to lower your expectations, hopes, all that. I'm telling you, it's only going to hurt you in the long run. And also, if you lower them and you guys do win it, it feels that much better because you didn't expect it. If you're like coming into every year, we should win. You guys win, you're like, good, now do it again. We should win. Good, now do it again. You're not even.
Actually, you remember when we were watching the Cavs game? The Cavs games, when we lost those games in overtime? I was not mad. Though that Cavs team, I'm scared of that team in the playoffs because Donovan Mitchell. So you got Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, Cavs are super deep.
Evan Mobley. You have Jared Allen. I don't know who their starting three is.
It's not Shetty Osman. It's Larry Stevens, I believe.
Is that who it is?
Something Stevens.
Or Okogie or something?
No, he comes off the bench.
Okoro?
No, he comes off the bench.
Oh, okay.
It's like Seti Osman, a couple other pieces off the bench. But no, Cavs are a good team. They're
give
deep.
them a lot of credit. Never liked them when they had LeBron, but
shocker.
Yeah, the Cavs, they're young now. They're and you're gonna hear me say this a lot.
He loves them young. Let's just put that on record. He loves them young guys. That's forever in history.
I give them the Grizzlies credit where it's due. John Morant's insane.
Oh, he's so young too. Even your young fetish. Something wrong there. I think it's more of, and this is already going to get clipped out of context. I think it's more of you just like to see something new in the NBA and not the same old. Whereas I like seeing sustained greatness. That's why I love the Warriors title run. It might have an asterisk because of KD, but still, to be a dynasty in the modern NBA is so incredibly difficult that it's nothing but admirable because it's so hard to win just one championship. You win 4 in about 8 years, which is kind of pushing it for a decade. I mean, it falls within the lines of a decade, but for a dynasty team, like sustained greatness is one of the greatest things in sports. And people get pissed, like, I don't want to see the Warriors again. And imagine how people felt in the 90s. Like, oh, here's the fucking Bulls again. I wonder who's going to win. And then Jordan wins. You can say what you want, but Jordan being dominant for that stretch is still impressive in sports because that's a lot of wear and tear. That's like countless hours. That's just the hard work. That's everything paying off. So I'll always be a homer for super team, or not super teams, but dynasties like the Spurs. The fact that Greg Popovich, up to like 2 or 3 years ago, made the playoffs. The Spurs made the playoffs 25 straight years in a row. That's insane.
Yeah.
That is insane. And that's just a testament to how the Spurs run their organization. So that's where I sit on that side of the road.
And you know who's one of Popovich's assistant coaches now?
Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
You know who Tim Duncan is?
I think once Popovich steps down, that's your next head coach.
Timmy D?
Yep. Bold take.
You think Pop? I think Budenholzer would come back. I don't know who is the best Pop disciple. That'd be a fun video idea.
he's had so many because there was Ime Udoka,
Yeah.
Budenholzer. Now there's Tim Duncan over there.
Steve Kerr.
What about the Grizzlies head coach? I could have sworn he came from the Spurs.
He probably
too.
did. Like, who hasn't gone through it?
Yeah.
Like, that'd be a fun video topic to talk about. Who's the greatest Popovich disciple? Because I think Steve Kerr too. I'd probably pick Steve Kerr if Steve Kerr. I know he won one with the Spurs, but I could have sworn he was also on that coaching staff. Right? Yeah, as a player. But I also could have sworn he was on that coaching staff.
I know he was doing a lot of. He was on ESPN before he took.
He would go from coaching. Yeah, and they screwed Mark Jackson. I don't care what they say. I mean, it worked out in the long run.
Yeah.
But Mark Jackson took that team to the playoffs. They upsetted the Nuggets. They got all the way to the West Finals. Yeah, they got to like the West Finals or divisional. They lost to the Clippers, I believe, or something like that. I don't remember what happened that year. I don't remember what happened that year. But yeah, they're just like, hey, Mark, thanks for everything you've done. That's like when they fired Dwayne Casey after winning Coach of the Year. He had like a 60-win season. Too. Yeah. I don't know why that happens sometimes, but it usually turns out for the better, weirdly enough. So maybe there's something, there's a reason they have those jobs, we don't. So, but yeah, it'd be cool. I think it'd be a cool video to do, or a cool topic to talk about. That, or just like underrated coaches. Like I have one in mind that's a very underrated coach, and he's been doing it for a long time.
Now, let's go into a little topic.
Okay.
I like to ask about the biggest disappointment of the season. With the NBA and NFL actually too. Actually with the NFL, what do you think is a bigger disappointment or a big letdown this season? The Buccaneers or the Packers? Go.
That's kind of a tough one, honestly.
Oh, don't worry. I got another one for the NBA too.
Bucks, because Packers, you can always scapegoat and say Devontae Adams isn't there. Buccaneers have kept their roster. It's just Brady's gotten older. So, like, that's really all that's happened. But because I've watched some Bucks games, and Brady, as much as, like, Brady, you see him yelling at his team this year more often than not.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of it's, like, on Brady, too. He's missing a lot of throws, a lot of easy throws that he usually makes. But I put an asterisk because he's 46. Like, it's... Like, he should be retiring. He should be with his family.
You should have picked your family over football. Come on, Tom Brady.
You've got 7 chips. He had nothing to prove. Brady had nothing to prove. And I think like this only goes to show that he just wants... he just might love football more than anything else in the world. I think that's maybe what this is.
Why LeBron doesn't retire right now? He's what, 37?
37, turning on 38, or something like that. He old.
Why he doesn't retire right now? 2 things. He wants to break Kareem's record, the most points, and he wants to play with the son.
Yep. And he'll probably accomplish both. Why
he's not retiring right now.
That and LeBron can still play. Like
he still can. He's still dropping 30.
Yeah, 30 tonight.
30 a game.
Yep. But I mean, the thing is, like, LeBron. It's insane what he's able to do at his age. But then again, LeBron, I'd say, is the best athlete of all time. Like, there's nobody physically more gifted than LeBron that we've ever seen in sports. He's just physically gifted. So I think that's why his body can hold up after all these years, is that the dude takes care of his body. It's not just he's gifted. He does take care of his body. He puts in a lot of work. But, like, in terms of being physically gifted, naturally athletic, all that, I don't think we've seen a better athlete than LeBron in that aspect. So I think that helps a lot with his longevity. And that's why he can still tomahawk at his age. He can probably do it at 40, to be honest with you.
He was doing that against us, too. We would get a turnover. 5 turnovers in a row, by the way.
Great liquor defense, by the way.
2 of them, we just handed it to LeBron. wide open breakaway slam.
Oh yeah, because it's L.A.
Fast break slam.
It's L.A. You gotta put on a show.
One it was a tomahawk, and one he had a windmill slam.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that windmill.
I saw the windmill. I saw it on League Alerts. Shout out League Alerts, by the way, on Insta. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then the NFL.
Oh yeah, it was the NBA. Yep.
Biggest disappointment leading into the season and starts and everything, and I would even ask, even like a surprise too, maybe. But I only throw the Jazz in because I think they're the biggest disappointment because they should be tanking. They built that team to tank.
Look, it doesn't matter.
I know Danny Ainge.
Yeah, that's true.
They were supposed to tank for Wembanyama. They were the number one on the sweepstakes for Wembanyama. But they surprised everybody this season.
But
Markkinen, most improved player.
But that's the thing. If you can go from they had the number one seed for a while, the first 15 games. So it's like at least they went for the top. They could have it would have been worse if they were like a mid-tier team. Like here's tanking, here's mid, here's the number one seed. At least they shot for the moon. Like no team's gonna come into a season and is like, hey guys, let's tank. We'll get them next year. It doesn't happen because Victor Wembanyama is great, but he's also frail. He the same thing that happened to Chet Holmgren can happen to him. He'll be in the summer league. He'll be dominant. He'll land awkwardly, break his leg.
He's got more muscle on him than.
How much more? Yeah, okay. Chet Holmgren was a toothpick. So was Brandon Ingram, but he's also taller and he's a little bit more explosive than Chet Holmgren. It's still a possibility.
I think. Here's the thing with Chet Holmgren. I think he's going to be one of those frail players in the NBA. Kind of like a Yao Ming, maybe.
I disagree. I think he grows into his body.
Wembanyama, I could see him being like a KD, maybe putting on a little bit of muscle, like how Giannis did.
No, Giannis is built. Giannis went from Chet Holmgren.
Well, see when he came in the league, though.
Have you seen him? And when he came into the league,
I've seen Giannis now, but when he
in the league, he was like Chet Holmgren when he came into the league. And so that you don't think Chet Holmgren can do the same?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I mean, unless he could probably really work into it. I mean, prove me wrong, but
I mean, he's an NBA player. What else is he gonna do? He's not gonna be like, I have to watch my diet. Actually, I can't put on pounds. Motherfucker, you play basketball for a living. Shove a donut down his mouth. That's what's gonna happen.
Greg Oden.
Shout out Greg Oden. He's not dead, but his career is. I feel bad because there are people who walk up to Greg Oden and is like, hey, man, you had a chance to be great. And he's like, I know. And I'm like, damn. But it's corny to be to give shit on those busts, especially if they got their bust due to injury. Because injury is basically unavoidable. I mean, you can work towards avoiding it. CJ McCollum's a good example, or Steph's. Steph always had ankle injuries his first couple years, but he worked to minimize that, or he just played through it. But a perfect example, Mr. AD, Mr. Top 75, he gets injured every game, and it's just his body. And I would hope AD is eating healthy. He's doing all the right measurements to be on the floor because that is his job. It doesn't have to be his passion because the fans don't care about passion. The fans care about you performing. That's all it is. And your team cares about you performing because you have contract incentives to hit. So, is AD taking care of his body? We would like to hope so. Chet Holmgren, I hope he learns. Look at Zion. Zion tore his meniscus, right? Or something like that. Because he put on too much weight.
Yeah.
And now he's slimmed down.
Everybody was counting him out.
Yeah, and he slimmed down. And
everybody
now
was saying he's the biggest bust. Bigger than Greg Oden being a bust, or bigger than Anthony Bennett being a bust. No, he's
but back. People are too quick to write off because there's so many NBA talents that get drafted. They get injured in the first year. Chet Holmgren is in the first one. Julius Randle broke his fibia the first game of the season when we first drafted him. And now Julius is playing great in New York. So it's like, you don't write somebody off just because they break it. It is scary. You're like, oh, crap. But at the same time, it's not the end of their career, especially nowadays. Technology is so good.
You guys don't really like to develop talent, though, either.
Nope. We are the worst team, and we're the worst team to develop talent, period. We couldn't develop Ingram. We couldn't develop D'Angelo. We couldn't develop Kuzma. We couldn't develop Lonzo. Literally, Josh Hart, nobody. Larry Nance, nobody. The list goes on. Lakers aren't a development team. Lakers are an attraction. Lakers bring people to the seats because people want to see stars perform. That's why every Laker team has never drafted. We've traded for a top talent because we banked on LA being the spot people want to play at. Though nowadays, I still think a little bit's true. Nowadays, you can be a star in your market like Giannis. Milwaukee's not exciting, but Giannis is. So people will come see Giannis because he's the Greek freak. He's literally one of the most majestic things I've seen on a basketball court. It's crazy what a guy his size, he can do a euro from the three-point line and dunk. Like, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but still. Like, Milwaukee, you have me watching Bucks games and caring because it's about Giannis. And that's why Lakers are like, that's why I wish we would draft and like develop talent and at least get a guy that you think you have a future in with. But no, we're just like, that's why Magic Johnson, man, I hated the crap he did with Lonzo. It was such snake stuff where he's like, yeah, we're going to be hanging his name in the rafters or his number in the rafters by the time he retires. That's exactly what he said to Lonzo when we drafted him. What happened 2 years later?
I remember that. Because he said that to LeVar, actually.
Yeah.
He said that with LeVar in there, too. Because he wanted LeVar happy. He wanted Lonzo happy. And,
which is dumb. Which is dumb. Mm-hmm. Who cares about the dad? It's not about him. It's you're the Lakers. You're not going to be listening to big baller brand. Yeah,
but my sons are the best players in the NBA. So, don't you know about that?
I'm not going to clown LeVar for loving his kids and gassing them up, but I will clown the Lakers for, falling into that temptation.
Michael Jordan. I could beat Michael Jordan in a one-on-one game.
I mean, who can't,
remember
right?
That one?
Of course. It's so many things that happened in Laker Town. I guess we can do a quick little... we can save Saturday and Sunday for next Friday. Because we do have 3 Saturday games tomorrow. We have like Colts, Vikings. I forgot the other 2, and then the rest Sunday. And then for Christmas week, we have like 6 games Saturday and only 3 on Sunday. Denver and the Rams being one of them. I don't know who drew that up. You did a terrible job. Maybe, but I was also thinking that might be a punishment for the Broncos. Like, you have to play on Christmas because you freaking suck. You don't get to chill with your family. You have to play a game.
You get to go.
It should be like they have their kids hostages. Like, get 1 first down. Get 1 first down. I let them go. And Russell Wilson's like, a first down? If only,
Russell Wilson's getting up there and he has 11 touchdowns thrown this season.
More than his bathrooms. Wait, is he still short?
He's getting there. He's still short.
That's so bad. God, we were such a joke this season. It's not even funny, man. The fact that it's week 16, 15, it's week 15, we're still memeing. We're still memeing that he has more bathrooms than touchdowns. That is bad, man. He just passed Carson Wentz in passing touchdowns. Carson Wentz hasn't seen the field since week 4. That's bad. You know what they said? I think before, maybe it's even still true, but definitely before last Sunday's game, Denver was putting up 13.8 points per game, which is lower than the 0-16 Detroit Lions. The Lions that never won a game was still putting up more points.
The 2000 Browns, too. I think that we were equal with them. I think that they were the only team to have 13 points scored for a whole season, average. average.
That's worse in my opinion. Is that you're bad, but you're just bad to watch.
I'm gonna look this up real quick to see what record the 2000 Browns had.
Because we should legit.
I think that they said.
Go ahead.
I think that they didn't win a game or something. 3-13.
3-13.
What's our record?
3-9. 3-10.
3-10.
3-10.
3-10.
3-10.
Sounds about right. Yeah, we could be pretty equal with the Browns if we don't win another game this season.
Unfortunately, I think we beat the Rams, but outside of that, I don't think we could beat the Cardinals and the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we can beat it. You know who I think could beat it? Mr. Unlimited.
You gotta be unlimited.
See, we were supposed to like sync that up, but you caught on too late. Go ahead, just whatever you want. Ruin the moment.
Yeah, we were talking about how we wanted to go. We had kind of had high hopes for the Broncos this year.
Yeah,
and we were going to go to a game. We were gonna go to a game that we actually win.
Not for me.
You out of the Broncos games you've went to, there's been none that you've won, right?
I think we won maybe once against the Chiefs.
Froze your ass off during the game.
I think we maybe won once. That was the Tebow years. I went to go see Tebow versus the Chiefs. We won like 7-3 maybe. But like out of all of my sporting events, I think that's like I'm like 1-10.
What was the game that you were talking about where you were freezing your ass off and the only offensive play that was scored was a field goal or something, and you're like, that fire.
Probably the Tebow game.
That fire feels good.
Yeah, we're sitting right by that horse that shoots fire, and I was freezing. I was frozen. I like the hot chocolate I was drinking did not, like, my boogers were fucking solid. Like, I was just, and when that fire went off, man, 10 seconds, my brain transported to a fucking beach, and I was warm. And then I snapped back to reality, and Tebow's just like this on the sideline. I was like, oh shit, something's about to happen. That's when Jesus comes down from the rafters. Yeah. Outside of that, though, man, it's been loss. Because I've been quite fortunate to go to a lot of sporting events the last couple of years. I went to a Lakers Clippers game earlier this year, spent like $500 ticket. Let's not talk about it. We're going to go see the Celtics Nuggets on New Year's. Last year I took my mom to go because she loves Luka, so I took her to go see Maverick, and Brandon was there too, to see Denver versus the Mavericks. Got really good tickets there. I saw Denver and Spurs. I saw Denver Lakers. That one I regret. We got blown out by like 40. Then we need to go see Broncos Bengals, the Super Bowl Bengals from last year. Mm-hmm. And we were going to go see a game this year, but
we did not want to pay a ticket for a boring ass game.
They should be free. I honestly think we should get like $100 gift card from Walmart as like just a sorry for watching, because Denver fans have the right to be a little pissed because we thought like we are worse than when we had Drew Lock and Case Keenum and Teddy Bridgewater and Brock Osweiler and Paxton Lynch. We are worse than all those teams. That's bad. When you bring in a franchise quarterback, C-Man has a special place in my heart, though. Something about Simeon, I just root for the guy. I don't know what it is, but I just root for him. But outside of that, man, like our expectations. Man, it should have been. We should be a little bit better. We should have been like a wild card at the least. That was where my expectations were. It's like maybe a wild card spot. We fighting
for a playoff spot.
Yeah, fighting for a playoff spot. No, we are the laughing stock. Right, we're doing high knees on the airplane. We're the laughing stock of the NFL. We had 6 primetime games and nobody wanted to watch them. Oh, I forgot to mention, I went to the Chargers game in SoFi when I was out in Cali.
Well, we'll have to play the clip of what Pat McAfee said. It was pretty hilarious.
That had me dying, man. That was hilarious.
But here's that clip for you.
Took a tub of piss, his own piss, put it on the plane, and sat in it.
Oh man. But yeah, all fun. I say catch us next week. It's a cool hour. We're about an hour in. I don't think we have anything much to talk about. We literally kind of spent the whole podcast just doing a weekly roundup.
Fans, send in requests if you want to. If there's like something, if there's like a topic you guys want us to talk about too, we would greatly appreciate it.
Examples like underrated coaches, greatest Popovich disciple, like I was talking about earlier. Like kind of like think pieces that we can discuss. I think that'd be kind of fun. You don't really see too much about that.
If you guys have any favorite teams you guys want us to touch on,
as long as they're young, according to him.
Subject.
Yeah. Okay.
We can elaborate. We can elaborate more on that. We can elaborate more with any teams you guys have in mind to talk about. So we're not just talking about Lakers, Celtics, Broncos.
Yeah.
Since that's basically what that's our teams basically.
Yep. Those are my sports.
Fantasy football real quick.
Yeah, I guess we can do that.
Second seed bye.
I'm also I also have a first round bye in the consolation bracket. So
yeah, best of luck to you. You can keep the $50 if you win it.
Yeah, I'm a generous GM. Not a GM. I'm a generous commissioner, as I should say.
Commissioner.
We have a 12-man league, $100 in, top 3, 600, 400, 200. But out of my own pocket, because I'm such a saint, I will be giving 50 to the winner of the losers bracket, as well as last year I gave out $800 because I was doing weekly incentives where like highest scoring player, highest scoring team. Yeah, I was just giving out like $10 to the highest scoring player on a team. They'd get $10. Highest scoring team, $10. Game of the week, 20. I gave out $800 last year. So this year I was like, let me not be that dumb. So I toned it down a bit. I will be doing a Christmas special though. Speaking of, for all the people that didn't get to the playoffs. Call it viewer retention, keep them coming back. And then we introduced draft picks this year. This guy traded his second round pick next year for Mahomes. He also traded away Justin Fields, but that was before Justin Fields started going crazy. So he kind of regrets it, but at the same time, he kind of has to win, so it's kind of funny. He's got his hopes high, even though I told him to lower it, just like a Celtics.
Yeah, it's so one trade I did do. I had Jalen Hurts. I traded Jalen Hurts for Josh Jacobs. That basically there was like some other pieces. I forgot who they were and who I got in return. It was a fair trade, but what I really looked at was the Josh Jacobs. And man, has Josh Jacobs had a great season this year.
Yep, I would say that was a pretty worthwhile trade. All right,
and then you and your trades too.
Yeah, I had like 5 or 6 trades. I got a first round pick. Right. I gave up Nick Chubb because I wanted somebody's first round pick next year, and that's exactly what I got. So would definitely have to vote in the off season to make it a little bit more fair. We don't want to have a completely lopsided teams.
Our league is a very democracy heavy league.
Yep.
Everybody's voices are heard.
Mm-hmm. Our voices will be heard.
Whether if it gets toxic or not.
It does. But that's fantasy football. There's a little of trash talking involved. That's all it is. And as long as you don't take it personal, you should be fine. Because you got to have a thick skin in this life, Brando. And I think that's a poignant way to end this. Everyone out there, have a thick skin. And more importantly, have fun. And if you're a cat, groom yourself like this one's doing right now. We will be back next Friday covering up all the events that will happen this upcoming week, as well as hopefully viewer suggested topics that we can discuss. Because we don't have to necessarily cap it at an hour, but we can... Oh, it's the first time he showed his mic.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you actually sounded a little bit better too.
Oh, right here.
That's a little too much.
Oh,
yeah, there you go. Back it up. Mike, you go ahead. I've said what I needed to say.
Yep. Rnb Sports back and better than ever. Maybe potentially.
Too soon to tell, but
it is
room to grow.
Always room to grow. All that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Thank you guys. Let us know what you guys think about our topics.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely see you guys around.
Yeah. Cringe.